Look, I need to tell you something that's absolutely destroying families right now in Western Sydney and honestly across all of Australia. Right now, as we speak, there are people who bought homes 3 years ago who are losing everything. Not because they were irresponsible, not because they didn't plan, but because the system failed them. And the worst part, most of them saw it coming, but were told not to worry. So if you or someone you know bought property between 2020 and 2022, you need to watch this entire video. Because what I'm about to show you is happening right now and it's only getting worse. You've probably seen it in the news. 30 to 35% of Western Sydney is in mortgage stress. But what does that actually mean? Because it's not just statistic, it's real people making impossible choices every single day. Do I pay the mortgage or buy groceries? Do I keep the house or keep my sanity? Do I tell the kids we might have to move? Or do I just keep pretending everything is fine? That's mortgage stress. And it's absolutely brutal. So today I want to break down exactly what happened, how we got here, and most importantly, what you can do if you're in this situation right now. Alright, let me show you the math. Because once you see it, you will understand why people are panicking. Let's say you borrowed 800k to buy a house in Blacktown or Mount Druitt or anywhere in Western Sydney back in 2021. At 2.1% interest, your monthly repayment was around $3,000. Tight, sure, but manageable if both of you were working. Now, here is what exactly happened. The Reserve Bank started raising interest rates, and they didn't just raise them a little bit. They went from 2.1% to 3%, then 4%, then 5%, and some people are now paying close to 7%. That same 800k loan, your monthly repayment is now $5,800. Let that sink in. You went from paying $3,000 a month to nearly $6,000 a month. That's an extra $2,800 every single month, and that's $33,600 a year. Where does that money come from now? And here is the thing, it's not like everything else got cheaper. Groceries went up, petrol went up, electricity bills went up, childcare went up, everything went up. And if you're earning the same amount of money, maybe even less, if you lost hours at work and now you need to find an extra $3,000 a month just to keep your house. That's not stress. That's financial crisis happening in slow motion. So how did we get here? Honestly, it's a perfect storm of bad decisions and broken systems. First, banks approved loans based on historically low interest rates without properly stress testing what would happen when rates went up. They just assumed people could handle it. Second, mortgage brokers and real estate agents were pushing FOMO hard. Now, before you're priced out forever, interest rates will never be this low again. And you know what? They were right. But they forgot to mention what happens when rates go back up. Third, most people had absolutely zero buffer. They were already living paycheck to paycheck at 2.1%. So when the rates rose and the groceries got more expensive and electricity bills doubled, they had nowhere to turn. And here's the brutal truth. The people who are suffering the most right now aren't the investors with multiple properties. It's families who just wanted a home. People who played by the rules and got absolutely screwed. So what do you do if you're in this situation? First, if you're already behind on payments, talk to your bank immediately. Don't hide. Don't wait. Ask about hardship programs. Ask about refinancing. Ask about switching to interest-only payments temporarily. Some banks are more helpful than others, but you won't know unless you ask. Second, get independent financial advice, and I mean actually independent, not from the broker who sold you the loan. Someone who works for you and only you. Third, this will be hard to hear, but sometimes holding on to a house that's drowning you financially isn't worth it. I know you have got emotional attachment. I know it was supposed to be your forever home, but if keeping it means destroying your mental health, your marriage, your relationship with your kids, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Some people are choosing to sell before they are forced to. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it feels like failure, but at least you have some control over the process. Others are exploring different housing options, co-living, renting for a while, downsizing, moving to a different area. These aren't failures. These are survival strategies. And listen, I know there is housing crisis. I know rentals are hard to find. I know it feels impossible, but staying in a situation that's destroying you isn't the answer either. There are solutions out there. There are communities that can help. There are options you probably haven't even considered yet. If you're going through this right now, I want you to know it's not your fault. You were sold a dream that turned into a nightmare. You trusted the system and the system failed you. But you're not alone, and there is a way forward. If this resonates with you, Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me your story. I read every single one. And if you need resources, help, or just want to learn about alternative options, DM us. Stay strong. I'll see you in the next video.